Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. The Hurricane Watch team is here with your latest update on Tropical Storm Felicia. Today, yes, there we now have Tropical Storm Felicia there in the East Pacific. It currently has winds of 65 miles an hour. It's currently moving to the west-northwest at 15 miles per hour right now. However, this is currently what it's looking like. So I really want to point out the fact that there's this huge blob of convection occurring right here. Right in this area, we have the big blob of convection. Area low pressure is right there, roughly. Lots of outflow right here. Huge blow up of convection right there in some of these rain bands. So we're getting lots of nice outflow like this. So we got lots of. So it's going to be moving in this direction, west-northwest, at around 15 miles an hour. It's going to make a turn, and it's going to dip down south because of high pressure interfering with the direction of this. So currently, here's the system. It is expected to become a hurricane by tonight, so the next update will probably be at 10 o'clock. I don't want to make like 20 videos a day, and it's too much. I got other things I got to, deal with in terms of, Instagram and stuff. Oh, and there's a storm coming. Okay. Oh, and I've got to turn on my light. So I'm gonna go turn my light on so y'all can actually see my face better. Wonderful. Perfect. Oh, now y'all can actually see me. Okay. So as of 2 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, Wednesday, July 14th, 2021, Felicia continues to rapidly strengthen, expected to become a hurricane by tonight. So currently, it's got winds of 65 miles per hour, 100 kilometers an hour, moving to the west-northwest at about 15 miles per hour, 24 kilometers an hour. The air pressure is down to 998 millibars, 29.47 inches of mercury. There are no coastal watches or warnings in effect. At 2 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, the center of Tropical Storm Felicia was located near latitude 14.8 degrees north, longitude 115.3 degrees west. Felicia is moving toward the west-northwest near 15 miles an hour, 24 kilometers an hour. This motion is expected to continue with a decrease in forward speed through Thursday. A turn to the west is expected by Thursday night, and a westward to west-northwestward motion is forecast Friday and Saturday. Maximum sustained winds have increased to near 65 miles per hour. With higher gusts, additional strengthening is likely, and Felicia is forecast to become a hurricane by tonight. Tropical storm force winds extend outward of 70 miles, 110 kilometers from the center. Estimated minimum surface pressure is 998 millibars, 29.47 inches of mercury. The next complete advisory is at 8 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. Is that like? That's like 9 o'clock Mountain Time, or 9 o'clock, 9 o'clock Mountain Time, 10 o'clock my time. So, wow, that's kind of late for me. Anyway. Okay. And then winds and seas are greatly, okay. So, again, it is expected to peak at winds of nearly 100 miles per hour. Those 105 knots. So, they're going to have the winds are going to be pretty strong as the winds are the gusting to over 105 knots. So again, it is expected to peak at winds of about 100 miles an hour. So here's the system right now. This is the latest. Go to current storms, 55 knots, about 65 miles an hour, 998 millibars. Again, it's expected to become a hurricane by tonight. So about 10 o'clock tonight, it could become a hurricane. So, possibility of a major hurricane, low, but really, is it out of the realm of possibility? It really isn't, as the storm could continue to intensify quite quickly, as this really isn't far from a hurricane force intensity already. 65, it's only 10 miles an hour from a hurricane force intensity right now, so this storm is intensifying quite quickly. So there's that. I do want to go to Zoom Earth. Zoom EARTH. So here's Zoom Earth. So this kind of gives us an idea, sort of, everything. So the fact is that it is, in fact, again, expected to become a Category 2 hurricane. There it is. They're forecasting 100 miles per hour right now. As we are here currently. Winds are at 65 miles per hour. I do want to get rid of this. 6 p.m., 7 p.m., 8 p.m. So again, here is Tropical Storm Felicia. And as you can see, I do want to move this out of the way. X that out. X this out also. Lots of convection. That's something I do want to point out. There's a lot of convection in Tropical Storm Felicia, and we're gonna continue to see a lot more convection as this storm continues to intensify. We're gonna continue to see a lot more convection as this thing begins to blow up, and we may even be able to see somewhat of an eye chart develop as it reaches its peak. If it's 100 miles an hour, we may see something even stronger, depending on what we see at its peak. But we may even see a dip in, where we may even see an eye try to develop. Really wouldn't surprise me. So that would be definitely fascinating and interesting to watch as the storm does intensify. So I do want to go back home to that hurricane center. We do have this area low pressure. Not really anything we need to worry about. It is not expected to develop. There is a 10% chance in the next 2 days and a 10% in the next 5 days. So here's this system. I do want to point this out here. As of 11 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, Wednesday, the 14th of July, 2021, an area of disorganized showers and thunderstorms located over the Eastern Pacific, South and Southeast of the coast of southern Mexico are associated with the tropical wave moving westward at 10 to 15 miles an hour. Environmental conditions are expected to be favorable for gradual development within the next several days. And a tropical depression is likely to form this weekend well offshore of the southwestern Gulf Coast of Mexico. Next 48 hours, 10%. Next 5 days, high of a 70% chance. Back to this. So again, here is Tropical Storm Felicia. Winds 65 miles an hour. I do also just want to look at the forecast models in the East Pacific. So we have an idea of how strong, generally, what the models are generally saying for the peak intensity of this storm. So this is already... The GFS is already showing it's too high. It's actually at 1,001 millibars, and it's actually down to 998. So it doesn't show it really getting near that until Thursday, 999 Thursday. So this certainly could become a storm of interesting intensity. So as low as about only 987 millibars at the beginning to weekend. Now this other storm does show more stronger trend and much larger, much broader. I do want to show y'all that. If we go to its peak, which was like 982 millibars right here. Look at how large. Oops. I just want to point that out. Look at how large the storm really is. I mean, we got isobars. I mean, it got isobars stretching pretty far south away from the center of circulation. So, I mean, the storm gets relatively large. And look how tiny Felicia is. It's incredibly a small system compared to how large this other system is. So that's something I do want to point out, which means if we go back, we move back here, by the time it reaches 1,000 millibars, this could still be, bringing in some swells to the coast of Mexico. Now, they'd be very, very small. They wouldn't be anything. This isn't like a Category 5 hurricane. But definitely in this area off the coast of Baja California Peninsula, and maybe even right here, they could see, they could definitely see some issues for rip currents in that area. And I hit this, okay. Well, that's something I'm certainly looking at, and that could definitely... It most certainly be a problem here in the future as this other system could possibly develop here in the future as they're expecting it to. Then we have another system. Shows a much stronger system down to 977 millibars. So I think this could be a strong Category 2. Winds could be as high as 105 to 110 miles an hour as it reaches its peak of 972 millibars. It does look like there's an eye right there. That's certainly something I'm looking at. There's 70, there's 80, there's about 90 knots right there. 80 knots is 190 knots. Is like 105 to 110 miles an hour. So that could be a strong Category 2, possibly even a Category 3 weak, low in Category 3 hurricane. So that's certainly something that I'm seeing with this. So we have, so Felicia is going to be weaker, and then we're going to have this other storm, which is going to be stronger, and then we have another storm that's expected to be even stronger than what's after Felicia. So that's certainly something I'm pretty worried about. Now in the North Atlantic, nothing is expected. Maybe into the end of July, into the beginning of August is when we could see some activity begin to spur up in the North Atlantic region. Again, if anyone has any comments, questions, or concerns, feel free to go in the chat and comment them. So yeah, y'all can hear me. I want to make sure y'all can hear me. So I'm going to go straight into seeing, really I don't see any kind of tropical activity. The only reason I go out all the way is just the possibility of something. And even over 384 plus hours, nothing is expected to develop. So really not a lot of activity happening right now in terms of the North Atlantic. But Tropical Storm Felicia definitely intensifying. So I do want to point out again, want to point out the fact that there's a lot of convection in Tropical Storm Felicia. And that is something I certainly want to sort of keep an eye out on that as the storm continues to intensify. Lots of convection developing. So I kind of just want to give this little update on Tropical Storm Felicia. I'm probably going to end off there. Does anyone have any other comments, questions, or concerns? If so, feel free to go in the chat below and let me know. But with all that being said, I'm probably going to end it off here. And I'm going to try and see if I can post this video onto my Instagram page. So I'm going to make videos on YouTube and then also post them straight onto Instagram. And I also have like over 6,500 posts on Instagram too. So I'm also consistently posting on Instagram. So feel free, if you want to go check out my Instagram, it's hurricane_watch_team at Hurricane Watch Team. And that is where I have a lot of thousands of posts. You can look at thousands of posts on my Instagram page. So feel free to go over there and look at that. So with all that being said, that is going to be it for today, guys. Have a wonderful rest of your afternoon, and I'll talk to you guys later this evening. All that being said, peace out.